Hey everyone, this is Clossi, and this is the second video in my Go for Pro series. This game is the first game of the second round, so it's round 2, game 1. As you may note that I didn't have a round 1, game 2 game because my opponent was a 3Q and he never showed up, so I got a bye, so I automatically advanced after that round. So this is the second weekend, and this weekend we had to play 3 games. My first opponent was Tygem 123, and he was a 6-dan. So here we go. In this game, I am white, and I have Comey, and the 6-dan is black. And let me tell you, that's just highly unfair. I'm like a 3-dan, and I'm paired up with a 6-dan, and I'm white. But I just did my best. And I think it put up a pretty good fight. So yeah, this move has become pretty common, or not pretty common, pretty interesting lately. Basically, pros have been trying this move out against the Chinese opening, and so I've been playing with it, seeing how I do. So here, I'm trying out a new Joseki, seeing how it works, and seeing what I can do with the board position. Normally, a pincer might be more effective, or just making a corner, taking the corner. But I tried out a new Joseki to see how it worked. Okay, and note that he does not play far, because if he did that, he'd have weakness, and then this move becomes really powerful. But I still played here to try and keep him cramped. And I kind of expected him to respawn, but oh well. He played up here. It's a good move, because after this move, if this Komaku is on a star point, black's next move is usually here. Or so we've seen. But since this was a Komaku up here, black just approached the corner, which is perfectly fine. Both are fine. So now I played here, and he goes and finishes his position on the right. And I go to build, and here I was hoping he would defend this, because I'm getting massive corner, but I guess that's just being optimistic. Because now this is a very large corner, and black's pretty much guaranteed to come in. And when someone comes into your framework or moyo, you should not be afraid. I mean, actually, I'm happy to attack this stone, so white's not at all bad. So I do this to stop the under attachment, because if I try something like this, he can just connect under. So I did this to stop it. I think maybe this is better. Let's see, and then there was this. Yeah, that's that tree. Okay, so yeah, I think just here would be better. Maybe. Maybe not. Because then white does get this. Then, I mean, black gets this. Then white will do this, and white's putting a decent sized bottom area. And then when black comes this way, you can see white's now splitting the black groups. So this might be okay. It's an okay idea. I might try it out. But I did this during the game, so it's a different game. And I cap, and I try to push them towards this way. And this cut is not good. Because as you can see here, now black has 3 weak groups. White only has 1. And if black tries to run this way, white can Hane here, or white can just jump. And now this black group appears hurting, because this black group is not alive with B18. So black cannot try to cut. So black plays this. And I push this shape. Very daring, because this cut's still present, but I'm asking him if he's really willing to risk this cut for this. But this honestly might be a mistake. In the game, black plays here. But if black cuts right now, black goes here, and black just takes, white exchanges this for this. Okay, yeah. This is White's much happier. Okay, just checking, because this Panuki seems big with the right, but yeah, it's just not at nearly as big as getting cut off. Okay, so yeah, can't cut yet. Have to fix. And I go here. Okay, so this move is bad shape. I should just fix my cut, and then I can push black without worries. Here, though, I have weak shape, and this shape ends up costing me later. And black should make shape here. And this is a pretty good response. Anything else I do will just give him more forcing moves. So I'm going to do this. Can't cut, so he can just walk out now. So basically I'm pushing him out and I have broken shape. So this isn't good. Then what else can I do? This? And give up these 2 stones? No, never. Not a chance. I can do this, but then black just gets his Atari and makes good shape. So the connection's fine. Black pushes out, which is fine. Nobi. And now black uses the cut. So white's shape becomes bad here, and it lets black out easier. So I should have connected this cut. It's good shape to remember. When you're playing your moves, making good shape can be vital for your position, because you have no idea how important shape is and how having good shape makes your attacks so much easier versus when you're attacking with bad shape. Then he does this, and white's just kind of crying now because white can't seal black in anymore. I do what I can here. Black does this. And the idea of this move... Yep. Okay, so if I just seal directly, he makes 2 eyes and he lives. White's thickness can't be considered very good thickness because of the cutting stone and all the bad shape. Also, later, if I like this move, something like this looks playable. This looks really ugly. So black's aiming at my bad shape. Here, though, when I play this move, I'm taking away black's eye space, but I kind of expected black to respond, and then this pushing cut would happen. This shape, though, is very questionable for black. So I thought it was going to go better than what it did. I mean, there's still many things to think about. So yeah, so I can't seal black in. That was black's idea with this move. So in the game, if black responded here, I was going to do this. And try and work with this idea and see what would happen. But you can see white's shape is just terrible here. This is not a good proper attack. And it's all because of this cut. The black pushes out. This is the weakness of this move, because I have to respond to this. And then black Ataris, and before we go into this, first off, my idea here was I expected black to fix, and then we go back to the variation I just showed. White's shape is bad, but black is still not completely alive, so I'm trying to manage something out of this. Still very bad for white. This, though, at first, I was like, black made a mistake, because black misread that this was not Sente. So I play here, black takes. As you can see, white's still completely fine. So up to here, white is happy. I think, though, taking the stone is a mistake. And the reason for that is I really want this dive. If black runs away, white plays here, runs, Black cannot capture this group, and black cannot hope to capture this group, and black's liberties on the inside are very bad. So this would be called a success for white. White is very happy with this. But after I take, black first tries to live, I kill him, pushes, and then blocks. So as you can see here, it just looks, black just made up for almost all of this on the bottom. This framework down here is very large. So black kind of made up for what I made over here with this one move. So I really should have gotten that dive in when I had the chance. And here, this may seem a bit over-aggressive to attack this group now. And it's true the right side is the biggest area now. But the idea of attacking this group is to get strength in the center to make dealing with this right side easier. So thinking about it that way, this attack is a good idea. So I'm trying to take away the base. Black threatens to connect and starts trying to shape. This is the proper block, because now I can threaten to do this. Black sees that if he blocks, I can now run out. He tries to cut me here. This shape looks very hard to deal with. 3 liberties to 4 liberties, and what can black do here? So black's gonna die. So black saw that I was gonna get out. So black plays this move. And then I connect under, and now black is completely without a base. This white group is also alive now, so white doesn't have to come in here and capture this. Black runs, and now I go for center strength. This move's kind of hard to deal with, or kind of hard to use, but if I use it good enough, I'll get strength to invade on the right. And I push black's eye space and seal him. Black gets out. It's a good move. And here, I make the same mistake that I made down here. This cut is bad. Just connect. Or tiger's mouth. But here, the connection's better. So, remember how I said my cap was very thin? Or how I said that the cap looks difficult to use, but if I use it correctly, it'll work out? Up to this point. Not sure I'm using it correctly. So I think my attack here was actually wrong. Because as you can see, this black group gets out. And sure, I can get a few more forcing moves on them. But really, this white group's not alive yet. So I just got a weak group inside of all of black's influence. This can't be considered a good idea for white. So this is just bad. So this cap was probably the wrong move. Something like this might be more effective. And then try and play a leaning attack over here. This looks like it'll be easier because if black comes up, then you can see the black group is getting attacked. So these are kind of advanced strategies, and many of you may not be able to see these types of moves yet. But what I want you to think about is the flow of the moves and the flow of the positions. And what you want to do when you're looking at Don games or even pro games is just look at how their moves work. For Don games, you'll see some of the moves look like they work, but they end up not working or something like that, or we just have a huge fight. And you might wonder why we fought, and usually we fight to get the better position, or we just can't afford to just live or let our opponent live so easily. And because if they live easily, then we'll be behind on the position. Remember that it's a territory game, but if you look at pro games, and I've been looking at pro games a lot recently, the moves that they play just flow together so nicely, especially compared to Dawn games. Dawn's moves flow together, sort of, but not nearly as nicely as pro games. So making your moves flow together and work together can actually help you understand the board better, and also looking at the positions. That's another thing you want to look at on the board, is look at the positions. Like you can see, Black's got a very nice position. White wants to do something about it. Black's also got a weak group. So White wants to attack the weak group while dealing with this position and try to do two purposes at the same time. I tried to do that here, but the position just ended up bad for me. And of course I played this and got cut off. So I played the common sequences. This, probably an over. I think that's an overplay. Nobi. I'm too weak to Hane there. White's position's getting cut off and it's very thin, but Black's also not alive on the inside. So White still has a chance, but the game's obviously better for Black. Because as soon as Black makes life, White's got weak groups and points to deal with. Black has points, White has weak groups. It'll be super hard for White. So this position is going to be very good for Black, especially now. So here I'm thinking, just connect this. Now I don't have to worry about the top. Now all I have to deal with is the center. I'm just trying to scramble together a game, but this cut's actually worth more. If Black cuts here, I have to fight up here. I can't afford to get that cut. So I defended the wrong side. You're supposed to defend the weakest group first, and the center stones are weaker than the top stones. So that was my mistake. So Black plays here, and Black is peeping my entire shape. So I play this move. The reason is because Black has a target to make eye shape, and I want to keep Black eyeless. Because if Black is eyeless, I still have a chance to attack him and fix my position. So I'm trying stuff here. I stay connected, and Black goes for the cut. So I have to fix this side and save the cutting stones, but now all Black has to do is just go here. Black captures the cutting stone, and he's completely alive. And I have a weak group in the center. This way, Black is much happier than White. White pretty much cannot win this game anymore. So yeah, it's pretty bad. Black, though, gets a little bit greedy here and starts attacking me hardcore. I try to defend my shape. He peeps up and attacks me. So here, if I don't do something, I'm going to lose this game. I can't play this game. Right? So I read out a sequence on basically say I'm going to completely seal this group in. This group is now does not have a single eye yet. It probably has one. If you don't kill these center stones, your inside group's going to die. So I made an all or nothing battle with this move. And facing a 6-on to be able to make an all or nothing battle is actually pretty, I was pretty happy that I was able to make an all or nothing battle with the 6-on, and this battle goes on for a good while. But in all honesty, this white group is much weaker than Black's, so Black has an advantage here, a big advantage. Black goes here, I defend, and Black goes to attack. Now, balancing this group is going to be extremely difficult. I mean, this is a last resort plan. This plan can't be considered a plan that should have been played. This is only because I was in such a bad position that this plan came about. Black's making good shape, making a lot of points, attacking me very nicely. And so here, I read out a ko, and I read his position. So I basically read out how many ko threats I have locally and on the board, and basically decide that if I fight a ko here, it'll be I can fight a ko here. Basically, is what I read, and it'll be a ko for this group's life and this group's death. So I make this move first, and then go in. And here's the ko. So Black takes the ko first. You always take the ko at least one time. I make my local threat. I take back. Black fixes, and now I make two eyes. Or one eye. So Black defends this. He knows that he's alive here. So I make my second eye. Oh, no, sorry. What this move does is basically say white cannot get out anymore. So he's going to force me to be as small as I can and make this a ko. Then he played this move. Here, I believe what he was reading is white will defend this, I will take this, white does this, and all I have to do is just make two eyes in this area. And I think he saw a way to make two eyes probably. But after he does this, or after I do this, if he just lives in here, if he manages life in here, he wins the game. So, because massive points. Let's see, it's been about a month since I played this game because I've been busy at the Chinese camp, so I forgot how this group can live, if it can live. I'm pretty sure I had it read out at the time, but can this group live? So there's two vital points here and here, and then here. So Black does this, here, here. Black gets this in, White has to play here. And there's these ideas. And now right here. Then White has to fix here. And then something like this, maybe. Or here, here, here. I don't know, there was something strange here. In the game though, I was starting to get low on time. So I figured if I was going to go for the kill in this group, I cannot afford to respond here. So I basically play the all or nothing move and say, you have no eyes. If you don't kill me, you're dead. And I win the game. That's what I said with this move. He takes the ko, makes the eye, alright, he takes the stone. And now he's at the ko, and now I begin the ko fight. And it's a massive ko fight at that. And I have a lot of local threats. As you'll see, I have a lot of local threats. And I didn't think Black had that many threats, but he pulls out a lot of threats too. Let me tell you, this battle lasted a long time. And each move we're reading, can we ignore, or can we not ignore, what'll happen. Every single co-threat has to be fully read out before you can play it. Because if you make one false co-threat, it's game over. The entire game's lost. Cut. This is the best move, or the only move. Take. He threatens the eye. I take the eye. And this move is the game-losing move. This move is only game-losing, and it will not become apparent for like another 20 or so moves. But the shape here is to play this. Black does have this move right here, but it's not actually a co-threat. And even if Black manages something, let's see. So can we make this a co-threat somehow? Here, 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 here. Okay, so yeah, we can make this co-threat. So even if this is a co-threat though, and then white responds, the problem is, or the thing is, this move's much better to take away the eyes than this move, and you'll see why later. We'll get to that. So black takes the co. Co threat. So yeah, this is just a massive, massive co fight. I mean, this entire game's riding on this co. And at this point, I was feeling pretty happy because I'm facing a 6-on in an even game, and I've managed to narrow the game deciding fight down to a co fight. If I can just win this co, I'll win the game. So I was trying so hard to try and win this co fight. Place here. So here, he threatens another co. And on this board, I only have, what, 2 more co threats? I think, let's see, what was I reading? So if I respond here, black takes, I throw in here, take, what was it? Black had, I think moves like these up here. Let's see, 1, 2, and white is out of co-threats. Yeah, they had co-threats over here, and I didn't have enough co-threats. So at this move, I had red that I can make co-threats with this group, more co-threats with this group than I can if I just live, or if I take the stone, I won't have enough co-threats because I only have 2 left on these stones. So I read that this group will have more co-threats because it'll be able to threaten life, and I could fight this co easier than I could this co. So I basically shift the co-fight to the top, and I place threats, threat, takes, and see how I only had 2 threats before? And there was even that. Now I can threaten life here, and I have so many more threats. But about this point, black sees my mistake from earlier. Black sees why it's a mistake, and then this variation plays out. So here I was kind of confused at what he was going at, because okay, now I just make life, and then he plays this move, and I see it. My corner group is now going to die. He's successfully threatened the top group and made 2 eyes in here, all because of this E14 stone. Had this white stone been right here, he wouldn't have been able to play these types of forcing moves to make the 2 eyes. And then I would have just been able to defend my corner just fine, and we would have fought the co-threat for this group. And I had more threats on the top of here than I did down here. So I think I could have possibly won this co, or at least put up a better fight. But after this, he just lives. And we'll see how it works. Here, and even here, I still cannot take this eye. So he just goes here. There's just no way to make 2 eyes in here. cuts. I defend. Walks in. Try to make 2 eyes. And dead. I cannot live in this corner. I'm forced to make my 2 eyes, and he makes life. Because he made life, he now has more points on the board. I try to go in, and I'm just like, no, I can't do this. I can't play this game. There's no way I can make up all those points. And don't forget, I gave up a lot of points on top in order to try and kill this group. The only points I have is this dead group. Black has the rest of the board. There's no way I can win. So yeah, that's basically it for this game. One bad co-threat response at the wrong spot, and it cost me the game. But as you saw, I made a lot of mistakes this game. Like I got cut off a lot, and my attacks weren't as effective as they could have been. And Black got this move down here, so I was pretty much behind the entire game. I was pretty happy that I was able to put up such a big co-fight with the 6-on, and I thought I did pretty well considering how outmatched I was. But I tried. I did what I could, and I did kill this group right here, so I wasn't too far behind. I tried to keep up with the 6-on for as long as I could, and I think I did pretty well. So you saw that all of White's mistakes, how important your cutting points are, and whatnot, and how to basically deal with positions, and how big moves like these are to just seal off a position, and how big they can become, how big Panukis are. Yeah, and hopefully you understand a little bit more about positions and how they work, and about cutting points. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this game, and thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.